It's colder down here. I don't like the cold. It's colder down here. I don't like the cold.
I trust you're not planning any trouble. What can I do for you, friend? I came here to study the history of Solstheim, but it's the skull who intrigued me the most. Well, let me think. I suppose it's been nearly a year now. My goodness, how the time has flown. Well, not so far. They think I'm a bit strange, but they seem to tolerate me. In fact, they've been very accommodating, hospitable even. They seem happy to talk about their traditions and history. Oh, no, most certainly not. I'm a historian. I'm here to learn about the history of Solstheim. Solstheim is a fascinating place, but we know so little about its past. There are many mysteries that remain unsolved. Yes, that was a most disturbing experience. But to answer your question, the architecture was strange, almost otherworldly. Given that, and the considerable power it must have taken to affect our minds so completely, it would suggest the work of a powerful mage. Either that, or perhaps a Daedra. If so, then may the Nine protect us. Powerful and malevolent entities who make their home on the plane of oblivion. Some of the more powerful among them can exert their influence within our world, and when they do, men inevitably suffer.
I'm the leader of the Skal, but it's the Allmaker who truly protects and provides.
I do enjoy sharing stories of my travels in Tamriel with young Nicholas.
I've met a few Nords from Skyrim. They thought us strange, but in our hearts, I don't think we are so different. I was chosen by the people of the village when our last leader, Skaf the Giant, departed the cold world to join the Allmaker. I suppose I've always spoken my mind and tried to do what's best for the Skal. That's why the others call me Fanari Strongboys. We are Nords, much like those you'll find in Skyrim. Long ago, our path diverged from that of our cousins on the mainland. We live as one with the land, for the land provides all that we need. Also, like the Nords of old, we embrace the Allmaker. We do not worship the 9 gods of the Empire. Oh, I doubt it. Dior has always been quick to worry. Go and speak to him if you like, but do not be surprised if you end up in a wild fox chase. It would not be the first time.
If you're looking
Northern
for
Maiden,
passage,
ship
talk to
shape,
Captain
ready to
Gallo.
go.
May the gods watch over your battles, friend. Sorry, but I'm not looking to hire any more crew right now.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. It's from Falk Firebeard at the Blue Palace. Ooh, you've got friends in high places. There's a new museum opening up in Dawnstar. The owner is asking me to hand out invitations to travelers. Looks like that's it. Got to go. Nope. Sorry. Nothing.
One side, coming through. They're dead. My pa was a sailor. Took me with him on his last trip. After he got sick, they put us off here and left without us. He died a few days later. I've tried to make do since then, but it's been hard. Real hard. I'm running food and supplies to the miners. Don't pay much, but they let me sleep by the fire in the inn most nights. Really? Do you have a place I could live? Oh well. Thanks anyway, I guess. Need something? I'm late, gotta run!
Need something? Take a look. Till next time.
What is it? I haven't had much sleep.
Heard they're
It's good
reforming
to
the
hear you
Dawn
say
Guard.
that.
Vampire hunters or something. In the old fort near Riften. Might consider joining up myself. They say that vampires attacked the Hall of the Vigilant. Burned it to the ground. Never heard of vampires doing anything like that before.
You've come to Dawnstar at a strange time, friend. Seems everyone in the town is having nightmares.
I don't like taking orders from a boy, but I need the gold. I could run this ship better than that boy who calls himself a captain. Maybe one day I'll do something about it.
We won't give up this port to the Imperials without a fight. Don't you worry.
Quicksilver Mine is the best mine in Dawnstar, and you can tell those Ironbreaker miners I said so. Until next time.
Your ancestors wouldn't want this, Silas.
Why should I hide from it? This is my family's legacy.
It's the past. Dead oaths on dead lips. Let it stay there.
The museum is opening, Medina.
I'm here to lend my magic to the people of Dawnstar. I beg you, don't go into Silas's museum. Silas comes from one of the oldest families in Dawnstar. They have a complicated history. Several of his ancestors belonged to the Mythic Dawn, the cult that almost destroyed Tamriel. His family's involvement was only found out well after the crisis had died down, but it still ruined their reputation. They were outcasts. And now Silas is back, and this museum to the Mythic Dawn is his way of trying to rebuild his family's pride. It's misguided. Not a student of history, I see. It's for the best. They're a group that should be forgotten. The only thing you need to know is that they almost destroyed the world, and they were stopped a long time ago. That museum is a mistake.
And here comes my first visitor. The Museum of the Mythic Dawn is open, friend. Yes, my collection of artifacts from a group that toppled an empire. Why don't you come in? You can browse the displays and we can talk. I have a job you look perfect for. Let's talk inside. Let's talk inside. Feel free to look around. Come talk to me when you're ready to discuss. The tapestries hung here and outside were found in hideouts, where members of the Mythic Dawn would meet and plot. The cult's greatest accomplishment was the assassination of the Septim Dynasty and the opening of the Oblivion Gates. Did you have any questions about the museum, or would you rather talk business? A little history first. After the Oblivion Crisis, a number of groups cropped up dedicated to wiping out the remnants of the Mythic Dawn. One of these groups found Mehrunes' razor, the artifact of Dagon. They split it into 3 fragments and pledged to keep them apart forever. That was almost 150 years ago, and the pieces are still being kept by the descendants of that group, and they're right here, in Skyrim. At least two of the owners, Gonzol and Draskua, are dangerous marauders, and the third owner, Jorgen, I only know he lives in Morthal. Here are my notes about them. I'll gladly pay you for getting the pieces any way you can. No questions asked. The razor is Mehrunes Dagon's personal artifact. It has always heralded bloody change and carnage. It's held many names. Dagger of the Final Wounds, Bane of the Righteous, the Kingslayer. The Mythic Dawn worship Dagon as a god. Having his razor would be invaluable to my collection. It's no secret that my family were once members of the Mythic Dawn. One of my forefathers was even chosen to assassinate Uriel Septim himself. We hid from our past for years, became tradesmen, people of coin and influence. But I realized that the Mythic Dawn's importance, our importance, to history cannot be denied. I'll see everyone in Tamriel remember that for a moment, we held the fate of the world in our hands, for good or ill. And here you are. I hope you found the museum to your liking. They were worshippers of Mehrunes Dagon, the Daedric Lord of Destruction and Change. The Mythic Dawn killed Uriel Septim VII and his heirs, triggering the events that led to the Oblivion Crisis when the Daedra invaded Tamriel. All that remains of the infamous cult, I've gathered in my museum. Ah, an excellent question. Mehrunes Dagon is the Daedric Lord of Change, Destruction, and Ambition. Dagon's Mythic Dawn cult killed the Septim dynasty and opened the Oblivion Gates into Tamriel. They called it the Oblivion Crisis. Good luck finding the fragments.
Whatever you need, Dragonborn, just say the word. We'll show those faithless dogs who this land belongs to. Next Imperial I see is dead.
Ours is to smile at your passing, friend. You have questions?
Keep your wits about you. Morthal's hardly a safe place.
Can I help you? We've gone from a Jarl lost in her own head to a Jarl that cares for nothing but herself. A lot of good that does us. Don't know what you're talking about, stranger. I've heard of him. My father had suspicions about his connection to the Mythic Dawn. Guess they were true. I don't need this. My family wasted 8 generations keeping that razor safe from a dead cult. As far as I care, it can stay locked in my house. I don't care, but my ancestors do. You can't have it. You want to fight? You got it. Come on. Let's see what you're made of. Damn it, why'd you have to walk into Morthal? Fine. The hilt is in the chest inside my house. Here are the keys. Take that damn thing and go. The mill is my responsibility. And that's what I care about, that's all. Understand? The world's going mad, and our Jarl doesn't care. She's only in it for herself. If she's the best Ulfric has to offer. We might have been better off with the Imperials. Trust you saw the house that burned down. Peculiar bit of business that was. And that's on top of noises from the marsh in the night, tales of monsters, and now this wizard in our midst. What's a man to do if he can't look to his Jarl for help?
All right then.
If you need any alchemy supplies, I'll do my best to provide them, assuming I haven't used them all up. I picked up the trade when I was a girl. One of the temple healers staying here on a pilgrimage showed me the basics. She had a book with her, Song of the Alchemists, that I used to read over and over. I miss having a copy. Really? I'd be happy to show you a bit about herbs if you find the book. No. Well, sometimes, but that's not the problem. I just often don't have much to do, so I tend to try things out. They don't usually work, but I try. Next thing I know, I've used up most of my stock. All right then.
I just want to be left alone to do my job, and to enjoy what little free time I have when I have it.
Welcome to the Bard's College. I'm the headmaster here. How may I help you? Always a pleasure to meet a prospective bard. You should be aware that many apply, but we accept very few people. When possible, we ask applicants to perform tasks the college needs completed. In this case, I do have a task befitting an aspiring bard. Elisif has forbidden the burning of King Olaf, a festival put on by the Bard's College. We need to change her mind. To convince her, I want to read King Olaf's verse, a part of the Poetic Edda, the living history of Skyrim. Unfortunately, the verse was lost long ago. Yes, according to Giraud, our history's keeper, the portion of the Edda dealing with King Olaf might still exist in Dead Man's Respite. I need you to retrieve the poem. Not much, to be honest. Their return was a shock to us all. Gerard Germain has some tomes about them in the library, if you're interested. Not much, but as a bard, I find the whole affair depressing. There are no heroes in this war. Even with Ulfric here in solitude, there are no winners to be had. No real conclusion. If you want something a bard can dig into, look to the dragons. 1,000 years from now, Skyrim will have changed rulers dozens of times. But the return of the dragons, that story is once in an era. I think Giraud here would give you the best explanation of both it and the history of King Olaf's verse. You should speak to him about it. As you may be aware, Elisif's husband, High King Torrig, was recently killed. Elisif mourns her husband deeply, and she feels that a festival that burns a king in effigy is distasteful. I tried to convince her the festival is many centuries old and celebrates solitude, but I need proof. I believe King Olaf's verse will provide that proof. I wish you luck in finding the verse.
Ain't this a surprise? You picked a bad time to get lost, friend. Never should have come here. What was that? Time to end this little game. You want the first. Whoosh! Now ain't this a surprise? Not impressed. You're a fool. Mercy. Pray to Stendar while you can. We're routed. Fall back. I fought worse than you. Never should have come here. Where are you? Huh? Time to end this game. this a surprise? Never should have come here. I'll shatter your bones like glass. Mercy! Mine. Now ain't this a surprise? Surrounded. Fall back. This what you want, huh?